stuffed grape leaves. We call them dolma. Now there's a lot of different items that go into dolma, and it is somewhat time consuming to make. You can figure anywhere between 2 to 3 hours from the moment that you start until the moment that you're eating. But it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to get started by showing you the ingredients. First, we have a small can of minced olives. We have 2 cloves of minced garlic, a 1/4 cup of olive oil. You'll want to keep the jar of olive oil around because you want to maybe top it off a little bit right at the end. This will actually go into the mixture. This is 1 diced large red onion, 2 cups of basmati rice, white rice. We have 2 pounds of lean beef. I like lean beef because I want to control the amount of fat by using good fats. You can use a fattier beef, a lower percentage of leanness. That's fine. That's up to you. You can even use lamb, and I've even heard of people using ground turkey. We have 2 bunches of parsley. Seems like a lot of parsley, but actually it cooks down real nice, and it holds a lot of the actual flavor that you're going to get in the dolma. I actually keep the stems on and dice them real fine. I recommend that. A lot of people don't, but there is a lot of flavor in the stems. We have a 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce and 1 small can of tomato paste. We have Orlando grape leaves. I use Orlando grape leaves because they pick their leaves young, and the reason why I like them picked young is because they are very soft and pliable and easy to work with versus an older leaf that can be brittle and break apart real easy. Now in this sauce I put a variety of spices. So I have 1 tablespoon of pepper, a tablespoon of garlic, a pinch of cayenne pepper just for some warmth, and a tablespoon of onion powder. Pretty simple. Now where it can get a little tricky is the salt. I rinse my leaves, which have a lot of salt on them. It's the brine that they're packed in. I rinse them really good because I like to control the amount of salt that I have in, and I use a kosher sea salt. When you rinse them, I would recommend anywhere between a 1 to 1.5 teaspoon of salt that you add right into your sauce. So a couple things that you'll need. You're going to need a pan to put all the leaves in and something to roll them on. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get started by incorporating all this into with the beef. And mixing it, and it's all prepared raw. We'll cook it later. So we're going to get started.
First thing we'll do is put the onions in. There's no particular order for putting the ingredients in. Get the parsley in there. And then we'll get our rice, 2 cups of rice. A can of olives, minced olives, tomato sauce. I like to put the spices in the tomato and the sauce and pour that on top, and then comes the fun part of mixing it all up. So you just got to get your hands down in there and mix it up. When I was a kid, my brothers and sisters, we used to kind of fight over who got to do this part. This was always the fun part. So it's real important that you incorporate all these ingredients evenly together. One of the ways to check that is by kind of pounding it all together, making a circle, and then flipping it over. As you can see, I need to mix that area up a little bit. The hamburger's clumping up there, so just want to make sure that we get it nicely incorporated. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Looks like it's all mixed up nicely. Just kind of finalize this, and there you have it. Alright, we've got our stuffing. I like to put a little olive oil in the bottom of the pan. And we have our leaves. I like to put a little water in the plate that I'm going to be rolling in. It helps hold the leaf down, makes it easier to work with. And we want to lay the vein side up of the leaf. Now we're going to take about a 1 to 2 tablespoons of ingredients, put it in the back of the leaf, roll it over once, and then once again, and then now we can finish rolling the leaf. We'll use that to put inside of the pan and start the first layer of dolma. You can use it to mix the oil around. Continue rolling the dolma until you have a nice circle of dolma at the base, and then use the back of your hand to kind of pack them down. And now our first layer is done. Now there are a couple ways to roll. I like to use the leaf flat out with the stem at the base. You could also put the leaf the same way and put the ingredients right in the middle and start rolling that way, or you can lay the leaf on its side and do the same type of roll. Now it doesn't matter which technique you use to roll, as long as you roll them tight. You don't want them coming apart when you begin the cooking process. Okay, we have finished rolling all the dolma. There are no more leaves, just a small amount of the stuffing ingredients. I like to take it and kind of roll it all up and get it into a nice little ball and toss it right in the center. Kind of pat it down a little bit. Now we're going to take a little tomato sauce, pour it gently over the top. Next we're going to add about 2.5 cups of water. Along with the moisture from the tomato sauce, this should be just enough to cook the rice. Everything else will cook rather quickly. It's the rice we want to focus on. I use a knife to get some of the air pockets out, make sure that the water is getting down to the bottom, and then a little bit of olive oil on top. And we are ready to go to the stove. Now, depending on what kind of stove you have, you may want to put something between the burner and the pan so that it doesn't burn the bottom layer of dolma. Turn your heat up to a medium, bring it to a boil, then reduce the heat with the lid cracked for about 15 minutes, and then for the last 10 minutes cover up and simmer. Now, after a total of about 25 minutes of cooking, I pull it from the heat and cover it with a hand towel to allow the rice some time to soak up the last of the moisture. And that is how you make Armenian dolma.